Alright, good afternoon everyone. Today is Friday, December 2nd, 2011. I am just going to go over all of the information that we went through this morning in the live trading room. Unfortunately, there's not much to do because we didn't have many trades. We attempted to get long a couple times, we attempted to get short a couple times. We finally did get short once, but I'll go through it all anyway. Right here, we weren't able to take this trade right here. We did have a bubble, and we did have a pullback to the BBC, but we weren't able to take the trade because we had this area right in here. Dave N, who was in the room this morning, I'm sorry I didn't respond to your question this morning about what I was talking about when I said area. When I say area, I mean if you have if you're looking to go long and you have lower highs created by lower pivots, you don't want to take that trade in most cases. I mean, it would have worked out just fine this morning, but in most cases you don't want to take that trade. Not from the 4-tick range chart. Anyway, so we weren't able to take that trade there. We got up here into the prior week zones. We explained how to trade those, the prior week zones, how to go short up there. I don't know how many people did. I don't know if anybody did, but we explained how to short up here from 1259 and 1260. The 1261 never would have filled. The 1259 would have filled and dropped whatever that is, 13 points. This was the one trade that we did manage to take. This was a George trade. We had 3 ticks outside the box. It pulled back up to the BBC. We shorted it here. It gave us 5 ticks. We moved our stop to break even and ended up getting out here at break even right before this big drop. A bunch of the guys, a bunch of the partners in the live trading room did get that trade, and they did get their 2 or 3 points out of it, whatever they were looking for. Now that trade lined up with the BBC at the time. If you look at, let me scroll back to 1052, right in here, it lined up with the BBC here on the 10K. It also lined up with the BBC on the 2100 tick. All right, let me bring that up a little higher. It was 1052, so it was right back here, right in here. All right, it also lined up with the BBC over here. So it was a good trade. The one thing that didn't have going for it was the DMT envelope was not straddling the 20. But nevertheless, we got out of the trade at break even. A bunch of people did get their 2 points out of that trade, and it went well for them. We didn't have any other trades this morning until the break period. Right here, we had a nice pullback up to the BBC. Again, the BBC here matched up with the BBC. Let me scroll over. The BBC here on the 10K and the BBC here on the 2100. Let me bring this up a little higher. You can see right here. All right, so we had the same trade signal from 3 different time frames. I took the short there, and it went down to my 2-point profit target, but it didn't fill me. My profit target was right here. It didn't fill me there. I had moved my stop up to plus 1 point. And you can see that's what I got out of that, was plus a point for 3 contracts. Since then, it's just gone kind of sideways here. And that was it. I want to show you one trade here on the 2100 tick. As we opened up this morning, we didn't have trades on any other time frames, but we did have one right there. That was a perfect setup for the Mike R trade. The cycle was down below the 50. We had a little bit of a straddle here on the 20. We had a straddle on the 10K. The BBC was in the same spot on the 10K. The only thing that kept me from taking that is I was taking trades at that time from the 4-tick range, and the 4-tick range had disqualified the short trade at that level because of this area right in here. All right, it did end up pulling back to the BBC. Went through it a little bit, and then it gave up the nice short, if you wanted to take that. That was it for the ES, really. There were other short trades in here on the 2100 tick. I won't get into those right now. There was one trade here on the YM that we missed. We had the bearish cross right here with the first pullback up to the BBC. Right there was the spot to enter it, and we missed that trade. It had already gone. The window of opportunity was from the BBC to the MA1. It had already filled that window by the time we entered the trade. So we did not take any trades over there this morning. I mean, you can see that one. The entry should have been up here at 12,114, and it dropped all the way down to 12,020. So that's what, 90 96 points. It was a nice drop. If you got the opportunity, if you took the opportunity. There was also a divergence trade right here. Brent, you had asked me earlier in the live trading room if this was a divergence trade setting up here on the YM, and it was. It was actually a perfect one because it closed right below the MA1. So you would have been shorting right there with about 7 ticks risk and been able to get into that and taken a nice move down on that. That's it. That pretty much wraps it up for us. So I took this trade. This was during the break. It wasn't during the live trading session this morning. Hopefully our partners saw the trade and they did take the same trade and got their profit out of it. Beyond that, we didn't have any profit or any loss this morning in the live trading room. All right, we're going to wrap it up with that.